No one touched you when you're falling to the ground. You know, plays where sometimes he'd be looking for blood, and it's like nobody even touched you, bro. What it do, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. While you in here, hit that like, comment, subscribe, notification bell so you can be notified every time Her Takes uploads a new video. We jumping right into it today. Got another great reaction video from one of the family members called The Last Flop from Scap Attack. LeBron James, The Last Flop. I guess this guy looks like he got this series based off of Jordan's The Last Dance, because he's got one, The Last Flop, The Last Excuse, and The Last Choke. I think it is something like that. So we're gonna take a look at The Last Flop because it's a real quick one. Just wanted to jump in here, followed by the video that we uploaded yesterday. Thanks for the love on that. Communication in the chat, the engagement means a lot to me. Thanks for the love. Need to give it a little more love. Let's run it up, you know, for Kobe. He's definitely one of the greats. As I try to figure out my top 5, he's one of the ones that I'm looking at to put in that, you know, ranking somewhere. One of the comments that stood out to me is one I'm going to pin right here about how I was able to go to his farewell tour. It was great. It was definitely great. Yes, I was blessed to go there because I've been a season ticket member for the Hawks since 2013. So I was able to go, had really good seats. The unfortunate part for me was that at the time, I was sitting in the tunnel behind the home team. Now that is the away team. And boy, if they could have done that before Kobe retired, I would have been sitting right there because everybody was trying to get his autograph. It was an amazing time. But anyway, we're going to jump into this reaction and see what's up with it. And we're not going to use the green screen today. Hope y'all don't mind. We're just going to do a quick little reaction on this video.
Throughout the history of sports, we have emulated, idolized, and admired the greatest of athletes, not simply due to their ability to captivate and wow us, to take our breath away over and over again, but to leave us with those enduring moments. Many of the greatest of greats have had signature moves, something they are synonymous with. Jordan, his ability to fly. Kobe, his penchant to make the impossible seem real. Kareem, to be unblockable. And LeBron James, the master of deception, with a near incomparable ability to bend the officials to his every whim, elevating the flop to new and never before seen heights. But in the wake of his latest playoff flameout, a humiliating sweep at the hands of the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals, LeBron hinted that he might be at the end of his basketball journey.
Got a lot to think about.
Speculation would
Let me say this real quick. Watching those flops, not gonna lie, it just really validates my change in my GOAT, right? Because that's one of the things that I look at, you know, and I've looked at over the years how that's really cheating the game, you know, because even with my own team, Trae Young, he's notorious for flopping, and it's always upset me, even, you know, for my own team to see him do that. I've never liked that. So that's, to me, that's a ding against, you know, trying to be the greatest of all time and saying that you're better, because you're literally saying you're better than everybody in the league. So then why do you gotta cheat the game like that? And it's so obvious. No one's around you and you're falling to the ground. No one touched you when you're falling to the ground. You know, plays where sometimes he'd be looking for blood, and it's like nobody even touched you, bro.
Only ramp up amid his cryptic Instagram post. Could this really have been it? The final charge of this legend, the last flop. And LeBron James has been wowing us for years with his proclivity to make seemingly routine contact look like the most egregious of flagrant fouls. Throughout his career, James has mastered this art form to such a precise degree that a player doesn't even have to touch him at all in order to sell the contact. But as impressive as his flop game has become, perhaps even more iconic is his ability to control the referees and even the league offices to manipulate them as if some basketball Pied Piper. But as with all of the greats, this ability...
And the funny thing is, now Draymond, he's pro LeBron. He preaches LeBron. Now, I know he's clutch, But like that thing right there, I thought they were gonna go to blows. I thought they hated each other, seriously, during that time of the series. And now y'all like y'all best buds. Like,
they didn't just come naturally. He's been honing his skills and working tirelessly on his craft, getting in the reps when no one else is watching, getting better and better. And just like the other immortals he is compared with, LeBron has always been at his best in the postseason, showing off his most high-profile skill set when the stakes were at their highest. But perhaps the pinnacle of his career came in the 2016 NBA Finals. James was at the peak of his powers. When trailing 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors, it became evident the Cavs didn't have what it took to win the series under ordinary circumstances, as Cleveland didn't just lose 3 of the first 4 games, they got annihilated, losing Game 1 by 15 points, Game 2 by 30.
And let me tell you something. During this time, this was the peak of my LeBron James fangirl. And I felt bad for Golden State. But I felt good. You know, I was happy that Braun was getting ready to get another chip. But I wasn't comfortable with that. I remember not being comfortable with that. And then when I later found out that Draymond was part of Clutch, it just made me feel even more like, dang, this dude has truly cheated the game, because it's like Clutch told Draymond to fix his own.
3 points, and Game 4 by 11 points. But it would be in the waning moments of that loss in Game 4 that LeBron took matters into his own hands, utilizing his ability to manipulate, to swing the momentum of the series back in the direction of the Cavaliers. And after years of working and preparing for this moment, LeBron would seize it, engaging Draymond Green and flailing around before throwing Green to the ground and hopping over him, groin first. Incredible move. And while this interaction might have seemed fairly innocuous on the surface, as no technical or flagrant foul would be assessed on the court or upon review, the league offices would decide to intervene and retroactively issue Draymond a flagrant foul, suspending him for Game 5. A game Cleveland would ultimately win, shifting the momentum back to the Cavs and propelling them to 2 more wins in Game 6 and 7 to capture the NBA championship.
That one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
And while LeBron has received some undue criticism for his declining physical abilities in his aged 38 year, he still flashed glimpses during that Lakers-Nuggets series of the same brilliance we have all become accustomed to throughout his career. Look at the execution here, the commitment to his craft.
LeBron, did he hit you in the head or did he hit your wrist? I gotta see that again.
We have all become accustomed to throughout his career.
Okay.
Look at the execution here, the commitment to his craft, not just
he didn't know which one to...
and hitting the ground, but the follow through, sliding all the way into the sideline. Outstanding form. So while some pundits may call for his retirement, and LeBron himself might play into this commentary as a publicity,
it's time to retire.
Desperately shift the spotlight back onto him. LeBron much more left in his tank and should certainly be back in an NBA arena next year, dazzling us with his signature and most iconic move.
He'll be back. Yeah, that one was real quick. I didn't expect it to be that quick, but since it was so quick, I'm gonna cover a few things that I jotted down on why I switched from LeBron to Jordan, because I've had some LeBron fans get in the comments talking they crap, and really, we here to let them know. We here to educate them as well. You know, it's time for us all to realize what this man has and has not done. And I got my little notes here. One of the things for me is the negative impact that he's had on the league since he became the face of the league. Things like building super teams. The All-Star, I used to look forward to All-Star games, and it's like ever since he took over, the face of the league switched to LeBron, and it trickles down from the top, right? He has no interest in the All-Star, like playing, like really competing in the All-Star games. And I think a lot of that has to do with his character of ducking smoke, because if he does, then that would have been on his resume as well, that he lost to this person, he lost to that person. See, merging the teams. When he first left Cleveland, like, my heart was broken when he first left Cleveland, because I feel like he should have stayed. And that was strategically done too. He knew that he would be coming back, and he probably had already been having his eye, knowing him, they had their eye on Kyrie. They probably figured, okay, you leave, Cleveland's gonna tank, they're gonna become the worst team. A few years you can come back, you should have Kyrie Irving by the end. Kyrie will be there. Merely not meeting expectations. When those against Kobe, like I said in my last video, you didn't show up. You weren't there to play against Kobe. It's like he ducks smoke. Dallas Mavericks, you should have beat them. You never did get over the hump of Kevin Durant and the Warriors. You go to the Lakers, this huge organization. When I heard he was going to the Lakers, Lakers about to be back on top. They about to get some chips. You got one chip, and that was in the bubble. That's a letdown. All the finger pointing have always rubbed me the wrong way. I've always felt so bad for the other players. I'm just that type of person anyway. I care about people. I always felt so bad for the other players, the way he would throw them under the bus. But see, guess what, bro? You playing with Luka now. You second fiddle. And let them mess around and do a little trade. You might be third fiddle. Guess what you gonna be? A corner boy, and you're gonna have to knock them threes down now, buddy. Let's see how he act, because if he get to missing them, is Luka gonna treat him the way he treated his role players? Because now you're a role player. I know he's not at that level of a role player. I'm just kidding. And then this video, all the flopping. You changed the game with all the flopping. You got the other guys flopping. You making flopping where they had to come up with a flopping rule. You, James Harden, and Trae Young are the biggest floppers in the game. And I hate that. I don't mind the how they draw the foul, because you reach, I teach. I get that part, because Trey's good at that too. I like that trait, but the flopping, I'm not with that. I'm not with the flopping. And then crying to the refs all the time. Oh my God, crying to the refs. Being a single mother of 3, raising one son, my son would tell you one of the biggest things in his life that made him a strong man. And I'm not saying I was right to raise him this way, but I used to tell him, stop that crying. Stop that crying. You a boy. Now, I'm not saying I should have been doing that, but to see LeBron, a grown man, doing all the crying he do for fouls and calls and all, it rubs me the wrong way. It does. And then the last most important thing that I wrote down, that killer instinct, that dog. He don't have that in him. And all the stuff I named, it goes along with that. He would compete in the dunk contest if he had dog in him. He would want to play defense and make all-star games competitive if he had that dog in him. He wouldn't be switching teams. He would have stayed with the Cavs, rolled it out if he had that alpha dog in him. And guess what? If anything, Bosh, D-Wade would have came to him. He would have met expectations if he'd had that dog in him. He wouldn't be finger pointing. He would have been a true leader if he had that dog and that fight in him. And all that flopping and crying, he wouldn't have been doing that if he had that dog in him. Anyway, I just want to come with a really quick video today, show my appreciation. I'm just going to try to upload as much as I can. Long as y'all giving me the love, I'm uploading. But that's all I got. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, stay safe. On to the next one. Peace.